Yes, it is 2 a.m. Yes, I'm filming on my computer with a desk light behind it. And yes, my teeth are super crooked and my hair is super greasy, but that's okay because if I don't film my video right now today, I will never do it again and I will forget about it. And honestly, could be a funny cool video. If you've ever watched Anna Campbell's videos, she put out a video recently about weird dreams she's had, and she has like this dream journal and goes through it, analyzes them, and I thought it was really cool. And actually, since last year, I've been like writing down all my really strange, weird dreams, which I've had a lot of weird ones recently. And my most recent one was the longest, craziest, most vivid dream I've had that I can ever remember, I want to say. And it was about this weird trip to a psychiatric hospital, and I woke up and I still, even to like a couple days later, remember everything really vividly, and I thought it'd be a really funny, like, weird type video to like talk to you about, and also to like actually look up what it means because I haven't done that yet. And I thought that just telling it to one of my friends isn't gonna do it justice, and that making a video about it and looking back at it in 10 years is gonna be kind of funny. So lately I've been watching this show called Scandal, which is no surprise, I'm really late to the game. It's a show made by the same people who made Grey's Anatomy and How to Get Away with Murder. And it's a show where Olivia Pope is this like lawyer, and she has this like team of like people who help her like solve crimes and like do shit. But she's like having an affair with the president, and they get into all this like shit, and I love it. And I'm currently on like in the middle of season 6, and there's only like 7 seasons on Netflix. The last episode I watched before I fell asleep that night was an episode where a naval officer came out to Susan Ross, who was a vice president, saying that she was like raped. And she was raped by like one of the like commanders or chiefs, whatever they're called, raped by one of her like bosses on the ship. And I had a dream where I was the naval officer, and I was sitting in the Oval Office with Fitz and Melly, the first lady, and like the chief of staff Cyrus and Olivia, and probably like more people that I can't remember. But I was like talking about how I didn't want to go back to the ship because I was afraid that after like charging like my boss, that like I'd get in trouble with like all my other like people who worked with me, and they thought that was weird and like kind of crazy. So they had like 2 security people like take me to another room, and then I like woke up as if I was like when they like shove a needle like in your neck and like you wake up later with like that drug that like they do in like the show. But I woke up as like myself, like Lily, like me, and I thought it was like extremely weird, and I was like in this like place that I'd never seen before, and it was like I like wake up and it's like this like oval looking room, but it was like had straight walls. It was kind of like a hexagon, octagon, whatever, like room, and it had a desk, and it had a bureau, and it had a bed, and I was sitting on the bed, and I like get up, I walk out the door, and it's like this bigger, huge room, and there's like several little like doors, which I was assuming were like also rooms like I was in, and then there was like a main like common area for like with like chairs and a TV, and then there was also like a little small strip which is the kitchen. And I like walk out, and this guy who's wearing like this like nurse outfit comes up to me and makes me give him my phone and gives me like a change of clothes and tells me to wear them, which is this like black sweater and like black sweatpants, and on the back it had a number on it, and then it like on like the leg, like right on my thigh, it had like the name of the psychiatric hospital. And I was confused why one minute I'm sitting with Fitz as a naval officer, and then wake up the next minute as like me in a psychiatric unit, which makes no sense. But as many people can agree, waking up in a psychiatric hospital with no idea how you got there or where, like, why you were taking your phone or where anybody else was is like extremely like concerning and like scary. Like it makes no sense. So obviously in my dream I was pretty freaked out and I was pretty scared. But like he just took my phone as like some sort of protocol, and I have no way of contacting anybody to ask why I was even there. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna get out, but I know that I need to like play it safe because I don't know where any of the exits are. I don't know who's there. Like, I'm just gonna play it cool for one night and then I'm gonna like get out of there. So I kind of sit around. I don't really do much. There's one other girl in there, and she's like a girl who I knew from my school, but like she wasn't like the girl from my school. She's like a distorted dream version of her, if that makes sense to anybody. But we were like talking like just about like random shit, and we were like watching TV in the common room, and the same nurse guy comes out and he gives me this like little like paper cup, and it had a bunch of pills in it, and he handed me a water bottle and told me to take them. And I didn't know why I was even in this hospital for the first place, so there was no way I was going to take medicine that I don't need and that I don't know what it is. So I just kind of nodded, I like pretended to swallow them, and I drank some water, and I pocketed them. And he had no idea. He gave the other girl her meds and went off like to give other people in the room their meds. And so she kind of was like used to being there, it seemed like, and she knew what she was doing. She took the meds and actually took them, and it was just all like normal. And I was kind of like freaked out, whatever, but like I wasn't paying any attention to it because I didn't know that it was like, I didn't know that you do anything else when you're on psychiatry. And I stayed there for the rest of the night, and I decided that I couldn't like just sit in there forever, so I went out to take a little walk outside in like the like garden area thing. And I was walking around like getting some fresh air, like being like healthy and cool, whatever. And I see that there's like this little like hole in the gate where like one gate stopped and the other gate like continued. And I snuck through there somehow, like my fat ass squeezed my way through without getting caught. And I kept walking, and it was like after like I got through the brush and like the bushes, there was this one like long dirt like trail, and it reminded me of like the trail up towards my new house that like it looked identical. And I was kind of walking it, and then I like am tripped and I'm like pulled back into the brush. And I was like fucking like freaked out, but I couldn't yell because then I'd be like escorted back inside by security and I'd get in trouble for trying to leave. And I like was quiet, but someone was like covering my mouth with their hand. And I look over, and it's this weird kid with like a fro, and he had like the same sweat outfit that I did, and I knew that he was a patient because obviously like why else would you wear a sweatsuit? Like, and he told me like not to worry, that he was also there, that he was trying to escape too, because obviously like you're not going to be out like in that like trail if you're not trying to escape. And he would like, we talked for a little while about how we were going to escape, how we both didn't know, that's a fly, how we both didn't know why we were there or how we got there, and we didn't take any of the meds, and we had all these like weird like agreements in our stories, and they were like the same, but we both agreed that we did not need to be there and that we were gonna leave. We decided not to use the trail because we knew that it would end up on either side of the building, or like around the building, and then we'd get caught. So we walked in the opposite direction of like where we knew that hospital was. And we keep walking and we hear a scream, and it's from these like couple girls who are all there. And so we start running back like the opposite way that we were like found them, and we trip, or at least I trip, and the other kid like tries to help me, and these girls start screaming at us like, what did you see, like why are you here, what the fuck are you doing, like this and that. And they start taking rocks and pelting us with it because they think that we're crazy because we have on like the stuff from the mental hospital. and we're kind of freaking out, and after a while they stop and they're like, dude, wait, Lily? Because I broke my glasses, I couldn't see who it was, and it happened to be this girl who's also a sophomore at like my school, and totally recognized me and was like, sorry, I didn't know it was you, like I didn't mean to like hurt you, whatever, but like what the fuck are you doing? Like you're crazy, why are you at this hospital? And I didn't have time to explain, so we just like got up and we ran the second they stopped throwing rocks at us. And like we just were running away from them, and we didn't take the trail, we didn't go back their way, and like we just accidentally happened to walk back to the hospital, and the guards caught us because we like didn't try to sneak back in, and so then we're fucked, and we can't go outside. We like don't have that privilege, I guess you could call it. And so I just was tired and I was confused. So after like that, I went into my room, and I like had a roommate and everything too, which I didn't notice before. And then I like went to bed. And I woke up the next morning. I like took a shower and everything, and I like noticed that my friend was there. And why did I just call you like my friend? Like Brooklyn was there. And I at first like I knew that like if I were to run over to Brooklyn and like hug her and be like, oh my god, like you're here to save me, because I knew that's why she was there, that the guards would like kick her out and I wouldn't be allowed to see her. So I like look at her in the corner of my eye across the room, and then the guard, like the nurse person, comes over and introduces me to her as if I didn't know who she was, and then said, this is the chef's daughter, because that's her like way of getting in, when the chef's like this old man. And we like talk for a while, and she believes that I'm crazy. Like she believes that I need to be at this hospital for no apparent reason. Like she knows how I got there, but she won't tell me. She knows like who put me there, she knows like everything, and it's crazy because she won't tell me why, which like you'd think that your friend would tell you why you're at a hospital if you have no idea, right? Like, I don't know, it makes no sense. So when the nurse came over to give me my meds for the morning, she forced me to take them, and I felt extremely dizzy and like nauseous and like crazy after I took them, and like I had no idea what they were for or like anything, but I trusted Brooklyn, even though she thought I was crazy, and I took them anyway. So I go through my day, and later that night my mom walks in, and with my Nana. And I'm kind of confused, because, like, how does my mom know where I am? I must be, like, close to home then. Like, I don't know why she'd come visit me. Like, if I was truly in a psych hospital, my mom would completely disown me. Like, she would not want to be, like, my mother anymore. She wouldn't want to be the mother of, like, 4 unsuccessful, crazy kids, you know? Like, I don't blame her either. She came and visited me. Totally was also convinced that I was crazy, just like Brooklyn. Like said the same things, wouldn't explain why I was there, or how I got there, or anything like that. And I thought it was kind of crazy. And like weird, like if your daughter, or like if anyone for that matter, that you care about or that you know, is in a hospital and doesn't know why they're there, and is literally like, especially a mental hospital, like why would you want to confuse and hurt them even more? Like, it makes no sense to me. But, like, they don't tell me why I'm there. They just sort of like, hi, how are you doing? Like, fake. Make me take my meds and then leave. And I was sick of it. I was really baffled. I was confused and, like, freaked out and shocked, whatever. But I couldn't do anything. And I didn't have my phone, and I couldn't text anybody or call anybody, or like look up anything. So I tried to sneak around the hospital and try to find like files, but there's none anywhere. And I like am severely like concerned and freaked out, like wondering if this is even a hospital, wondering if this like is like some setup from like Scandal, and that's why I had the Scandal beginning. Like, I don't know, weirded out. But I finally go to bed that night, and I wake up the next morning, and my mom comes and gives me like my regular clothes and tells me to put them on and to just walk back down with her and pretend like I'm a regular visitor. And I don't know why I didn't think of this in the first place, because I had my regular clothes But I finally take them and I put them on and I like grab my phone from like some random place because she had it for some reason, which I don't know why she'd ever have my phone. But we just like walk down the corridor thing, like the hallway thing, and we go visit my Papa Rod, who's in a nursing home in Clover, which I guess it's like it was in my dream. It was a split between psych hospital and nursing home, which like those two don't go together, and those two are kind of like crazy, but whatever, it is what it is. And I go and I see my Papa Rod and I hang out, whatever, and then we just go home. And no one questioned it. No one recognized me as like a patient who's tried to escape like before, who is like clearly crazy, doesn't know what they're doing. Yeah, and like that's like the end of my like dream. I like kind of woke up after that, and like throughout the dream, like throughout every night, I would kind of like sort of wake up, but I wanted to keep the dream going and I wanted to keep like finding out what happened, so I just kind of like put myself into a deeper sleep, if that makes sense. So I guess that would explain kind of why it's long and why I woke up then rather than waking up like in the middle of it and thinking, oh, that's weird that I would dream about like trying to escape a mental hospital, whatever. Like I said at the beginning, Anna does this dream analysis thing on her channel. Well, she did it once, but I thought that dream is crazy. It's weird that she posted a video the same time that I had a crazy dream like that, and that I'm also trying to like make YouTube videos and I need content. So I'm going to go on Google and I'm gonna search about dreams about escaping psychiatric hospitals, and I'll see what it says. And yeah, what does it mean when you dream about escaping a psych hospital? Okay, I didn't find much for dreams about mental hospitals, but I found this one site that is like about checking yourself in and escaping, being caught, abandoned, being in a mental hospital. So I feel like it's not like the most accurate because there's barely anything, but I feel like it's a start. So to dream of escaping a mental hospital represents resistance to change or disciplinary actions. You have no interest in adjusting core values or beliefs. You may be avoiding consequences of your actions. It may also be a sign that you're mentally or emotionally ill-equipped to confront your problems. Having to change may be a low priority for you. Basically what the website is saying is that you're dreaming of escaping a mental hospital, which is like a code for like not dealing with your problems and trying to escape from your problems and not deal with them like in a healthy way, if that makes sense. And that you're avoiding consequences of like your actions. But I don't really feel like I have a problem with that in my life right now. Look at me being a therapist. But I don't really have those many problems in my life where I would like need to ones that are big or significant enough that I would need to like try to cope with them in a way that's like not just facing them head on. But I guess like that could be a sign of like bad shit happening in the future and I'm not ready. Okay, so the next one is to dream of being caught escaping a mental hospital, which would be like my first night with like that other kid. To dream of being caught escaping a mental hospital represents consequences of repressions that you can't avoid. You're being forced to change core beliefs or values. You may feel that change is unavoidable and limiting you. I feel like this is like a thing that's like in my like recurring life, and that like would happen of like my overall like life, which makes sense. But I feel like I like change. I feel like I like change, and I also feel like I don't have those specific problems right now in my life because it's summer break, and literally all I'm doing is like going back and forth babysitting and going summer reading, watching YouTube, like nothing like major besides like annoying like arguments with my friends. So I feel like I need to watch out in the future for like random stupid shit that I am gonna try to avoid. Currently it is July 19th, 2018 at 3 in the morning with like sweetie girl. And right now it's Shane's birthday, which means he's 30, and which means he officially needs to be kicked off YouTube with Jason Nash because they're both too old and too stupid to be on YouTube. As I'm wearing his merch. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I learned almost nothing. I learned that I am having dreams that don't really affect my everyday life and that are just like stupid and crazy and mean almost nothing to me, which is great. Like, I love like wasting my time like every night like dreaming about shit that doesn't even matter, that's not gonna help me like come to any like cool realizations, whatever. But yeah, I hope that I don't have any super long stupid dreams like that in the future because they're a waste of time and a waste of breath and a waste of storage on my computer at 3 a.m. But anyway, that's today's video. I'm not going to post this until after Brooklyn films her video, which she is working on getting a computer and camera set up and is going to film her intro. And this will go up after, even though this is July 19th right now. But yeah, so once she gets that fixed and once she uploads her intro, we'll be able to do more videos that are like more common on my channel and more consistent and frequent. And I hope that it'll be like more interesting to watch than just like, hi, I'm Lily. Here's some questions that I'll answer about myself, you know. Hope you enjoyed my content that I stole from Anna. Yeah, that's the end of the video. I will probably try to link her channel below. And yeah, okay. Outros are awkward. Goodbye.